Okay, so this is my sheep. It's actually 3 weeks pregnant now, and I'm actually giving it some time to start eating healthy, recuperating itself, and I gotta start bringing it back to the shade because the places start turning rainy now, and the coolness for the sheep is not really, it's not something comprehended for a sheep. So I'm gonna move it from here this afternoon, and I'm gonna bring it down under my tent where it can lay in the night, have a rest from the rain, and then afterwards it can come back and progress itself. So you got this whole area to eat today. I hope he eats a lot, or she, sorry, eats a lot before anything else happens and before I move her to the new location. So that's it. So if you're doing farming, don't tend to stick one place in farming. Don't tend to actually be only a cultivated farmer by doing bananas or even dashings, tanyas, short crops, whatsoever farming method. You can change up your spree as long as you go. If you got a piece of land and you want to give it a go, my advice to it is actually you can grow some things like long-term things. And what I can say to young persons, if you want to get into farming, you got enough gardens, my advice to you is start doing the farming that's going to aid you in the long-term future. Okay, that's the whole aspect of young persons or older persons these days. They tend to actually be a farmer, and they tend to farm for now. Okay, if you got more than one piece of land, if you got one piece of garden, then for surety you have to farm for now. But if it's big enough like an acre, you can half an acre, and then you can use another half of acre for something else. So what I'm saying is actually do not do farming on a one-way bracket. Try to mix your farming, and if you got more lands, make it even better for you because you can start planting long-term crops, things like spice, nutmegs, um, things that got demand in your country. Okay, spices, nutmegs. You may plant a few cloves, big trees. What you know for sure it can benefit you in the future. Okay, no one knows if they're gonna live for long, and no one lives forever. But at least be the best to actually try your best to plant the crops that's gonna be for long term aid. Even if you're planting trees, it's not a bad thing also because you got food. Okay, so you plant some planting, you plant some cloves, you plant some spice, you decorate your land. So in the long term run, if for instance things may not work out for you, you may have a job and it may not work out for you. You got your garden prospering with money in it. Okay, so that's just my take on everything for today. I just started off my goats, and I have to give them some more money, some more. Okay, could I say it? Boosting up, which is the Panacue or the Hunter's Den. So I'm gonna be giving them this thing for the week coming up because I've given them once. I've seen the slight change, but I have to continue giving them because I bought that animal from someone up by me, and the person told me that I need to give them some of this. So I had started it, and I'm gonna be continue giving it. I'm gonna show you guys the difference, how they have actually changed from how they were and how they are gonna become. Okay, even for the younger kids that are gonna be producing, I'm gonna have to start getting my stuff in order so whenever they start coming up, I can start having everything there for them. So that's it. If you want to get into animals, it's not a bad thing. Animals could live for long because as long as you got a male and a female, you're gonna have that cycle reproducing. Okay? Meat must sell. So it's not a bad business, it's not a bad idea, it's always a good idea. And if you continue doing your farming, your long-term farming, your short-term farming, it's not a bad idea. But as a farmer, always think about your future tense. Okay? What's what is going to be like in the next 7 years. Just look at the rate your country is going, see how things are getting, if it's getting hard, if it's getting easier, and start lining up yourself for a future thing. So when you get old, you may not be able to move as much as possible. You still have some things that you can rely on as a business to keep you going. So that's just my idea for today, and that's why I've been changing up. So it's going to be a big setback for me, knowing that I'm changing up some of my business. So I'm going to be slowing down at a very slow rate because I'm going into building the long-term part of my life. So in case whatever I have running is not running until I reach a particular, in life, I have something I can set back to. I have something I can sit home and relax to, and I can still have that something give me some money. Okay, so that's how you got to think as a young person. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to actually think about now, think about how you could get things now and how you're gonna get yourself going about. But my whole plan for this thing is, if you're actually doing this business, or you're doing business on a whole, or you're not doing business and you're doing your garden work and you got a piece of land, try putting something in it. There is chainsaws, you may have a friend, you borrow a saw, you do your thing. You get your stuff ready, you plant up some stuff, and then you leave it. The bush might grow, it might get as big as this. If you're looking at a very long route now and a prosperous route, you might say, okay, I have spice trees in this garden only, and the spices are hard. I can get a ship, 2 ship, and put into that to help clean up the area, to make me see it as a reviving land all the time that I can be here every day to see and be feeling proud of. So these are the things you gotta consider, and as you continue going, yes, there are gonna be other things that you may see that you think that you could have get done, and as you get the passion going, it can be a change in your life. It can show you something differently. Okay, so that's my take on it. And also, I have this garden here, and as you can see, there is only planting figs. I think I got 1 or 2 blockers, I'm not sure, but I got more Michel figs and I got more plantains. So I planted the first area, and as you can see, I have at least half of this area to goes up to the top. Right, so I got the ship. So my whole aim is to actually, when these plants, because when I got these plants, they were not healthy. Okay, I got these defective plants. Someone was changing up the system from long term to short crops, and I decided to take the plants. And I took the plants for plants. Okay, I didn't took it for a whole vegetation as yet. So what I did, I spaced them off, and I planted where I got soil, because the earth here is a little bit rocky. As you can see, there's a little rock in the soil in between. So I plant where I can get earth, and I put it down. And from then, I'm going to get some better plants, because they're going to be starting all over. I'm going to get some better plants. And when I'm taking them off from the main plant, I'm going to make sure that I treat the plant before I plant it. Okay? So I'm going to treat it, and I'm going to plant it on the top side. And these plants on the top side is going to be healthier plants, for in case I would like to do some changing back down here. Okay? So if I find I have too much of fig and I want to get rid of some fig here, I'm going to get rid of some fig. I got a next piece of land on the top. I'm going to plant some fig around the bottom, planting and figs. So I'm going to have vegetables in the both lines. Okay? And I got another big project coming up, which is a real estate project. I'm taking my time with it. Um, it's going to be a very nice project I haven't thought about. It's a very trending project for right now. It haven't started. Well, it had started long ago, but recently I haven't seen that project in my area. I wouldn't say what it is as yet, because I am almost in the finishing stage of getting that project done. For myself, doing that project, it's gonna take me like 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. I haven't get accustomed to that as yet, because in my tendency of doing business, I actually start businesses that I can make money from right away. So as you can see, these are my first start of business which I did. I couldn't make money right away. I could not have done it. So this had given me a little patience to start the business on top, because with planting trees, it's like 6 months. You know, I understand, and that's a lot. The first time I'm doing this kind of businesses where I have to wait that long to get income. So this gives me a little trend that if I'm doing the real estate business right now, it's gonna be a better business for me. It's gonna give me the gratitude and the, like I said, the surety that just as how I've waited for this, I'm gonna be able to wait for the others. So I'm gonna be heading out soon and give you guys more updates on what I'm doing.